Hello folks, welcome to Western Ohio Interurban History and Video. Today I'll be showing you where many videos on this channel are filmed, as well as on other channels such as USA Wooden Railway and Jasington Shenanigans, my theories. We'll be starting our tour by looking at the O-gauge layout. Our tour of the layout starts on the far side of the room, next to the entrance to the room. The double-tracked main line curves around here in a large oval shape, and right on the edge of the table is what's supposed to be Lake Michigan, separated by a concrete barrier from the land. On the left side of the layout, there is a green and yellow building which some of you may recognize from John Deere Heaven, made by TM Books and Video, as well as trees and a water tower. On the other side are various trees and rocks next to a lighthouse. This lighthouse plugs into the wall and looks great at night. In the middle of the layout on this side, there is a neighborhood which consists of 4 houses. These houses consist of a blue and white Plasticville house, which has a Ferrari in the driveway. The Ferrari I found in a lake in Indiana. I found it on the edge of the lake, deep in the water, and I brought it home with me and cleaned it off. It's still on the layout. Another neighborhood house is one that my grandma found at an antique store. I'm not sure which company made it, but it looks decent enough so it's on the layout. There's also a custom house which appears to be made out of balsa wood. I found that in an antique store. And finally, one big house with a pool in the backyard and a garage and various John Deere tractors. The house itself seems to be custom made, and I'm not sure who made it. Encompassing the entire neighborhood, and also acting as an access road, is a trolley line. This trolley line is not powered and none of the streetcars move. They are simply there for display and to add more to the layout. In the woods between the trolley line and the mainline railroad, there is an abandoned Interurban car. I found this for $10 at the Illinois Railway Museum gift shop. It is out of scale, but I think it adds character to the layout, so it stays. Next to the abandoned Interurban car, there is a billboard for America's Best Train and Hobby, a fantastic model train store in the Chicagoland area, as well as rocks taken from Nick Gaming 2174's backyard. Me and him are good friends, and you should check out his channel. Going right from the edge of the table takes us to the Interurban street running, which is supposed to represent downtown Michigan City, but also could represent Jasington, Indiana's branch of the South Shore Line. Behind that is a bus station where buses stop to pick up people, as well as a diner and multiple roads. Note all the cars parked at the diner and the person being served food. Leaving the street running, we enter the countryside along the main line. Note the I Love Toy Trains billboard, as well as the Illinois Railway Museum billboard. Coming up on the left is the farm. The farm is where all the John Deere tractors from the series of Jasington Shenanigans live. You can see all 6 of them out and about right in front of the barn. This area of the layout has changed many times over the years, and you can see it changing throughout Jasington Shenanigans. In the corners of this side of the layout, I have put 2 hill pieces as well as a backdrop to make it look more scenic. Many people who have seen this layout think it's the best part of the layout, and honestly, I agree. It's the most scenic, and it's great to film trains going through it. Note the log cabin on top of one of the hills, as well as a John Deere Gator driving on top of the other hill. There is a large farm field of grass separating the 2 parts of the main line as they curve around to the farm. From here on, we're on the left side of the table. The main line passes JU Tower, which is a real tower that existed along the New York Central, although it's more of a shack rather than a tower. The tracks then cross over a railroad crossing before coming into the main station on the layout, which is the Jasington, Indiana Amtrak and Metro station. Jasington, Indiana is not a real town and is merely a fictional town for my series Jasington Shenanigans. Jasington, Indiana is located halfway between New Buffalo, Michigan and Michigan City, Indiana. A decent amount of the scenes in the series Jasington Shenanigans take place at this part of the layout. The track starts to curve again and is back at the water that represents Lake Michigan. And that is the entire O-gauge layout. However, that is not everything at Western Ohio Interurban History and Video. Underneath the table is where boxes of trains are stored, as well as layout materials and other things I would need for filming. Leaving the train room and heading down the hallway, there is a large clear area in my basement. I have used this area as a place to film all my wooden train videos, so I have a giant wooden train layout here. I won't go into detail on everything on it, as I have done videos on this layout, so you can see that for yourself on my other channel. But this is where all the wooden train videos are filmed. Also note my aircraft carrier, which is entirely made out of Flex Seal, which I did a video on a while back. The final area I'd like to show in my behind-the-scenes tour today is the train room closet. While this closet isn't in the train room but is connected further down the hall, I call it the train room closet because everything in here ends up in the train room in one way or another if needed. These shelves hold O-gauge trains, HO scale trains, standard gauge, G scale. This is basically where I keep all the trains that aren't in use at the moment, and all the accessories and vehicles that also aren't in use. There also is an area like this underneath the table, which I already showed part of, but this is just a storage area where I keep things. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've appreciated this behind-the-scenes tour of Western Ohio interurban history and video.